This is it, day 5 of our series on transforming carbohydrate metabolism. On day 1, we talked about sunlight. On day 2, we talked about sleep. People have been blown away by the stats around the impact of sleep on carbohydrate metabolism. Forgot to put my glasses on. That'll help. Day 3, we talked about timing. Day 4, if you haven't caught that one, we talked about muscle. That's another one where the data is just gonna blow you away. So make sure you've watched all 4 parts. I am gonna be doing a live Q&A here on YouTube. So any questions that you have, anything you wanna go deeper into, anything you didn't understand, anything I didn't touch on that you wish that I had, bring those questions to me. You can email me, find me on Instagram, message me there, comment here in the comments. We will get into all of it. Today, we're closing out with something that is probably one of the most underrated and overlooked strategies because people think it's just not going to make a difference, and you couldn't be more wrong. It takes just 10 minutes. It costs absolutely nothing. It doesn't require supplements, shakes, a gym, a tracking app. It is one of the fastest and truly the easiest ways to improve how your body processes carbs, and it also reduces your likelihood of storing the food that you eat as fat. So we know that when we consume carbohydrates, blood sugar naturally rises. And if that blood sugar stays in your bloodstream for too long, it's not good. It becomes toxic, and it can impact things like energy, hunger, cravings, you name it. There is a strategy that has been shown to be as effective at reducing blood sugar and improving insulin sensitivity as the diabetes drug metformin. This 10-minute free strategy as effective at lowering blood sugar as metformin. And this thing actually outperforms a 45-minute workout when it comes to blood sugar control. 10 minutes, and it's free and doesn't require a gym. This strategy also can increase glucose uptake by up to 50% compared to doing nothing at all. What are we talking about? A 10-minute walk. Not a power walk, not a jog, a 10-minute walk after you eat. Here's the science behind it. When you walk, even if you're just strolling around your yard picking up dog poop, as I do on a regular basis, your muscles are contracting, right? And as that happens, your muscles are pulling the sugar out of your bloodstream, using it for energy, also potentially storing it as glycogen. And they do this because you're exercising without needing much insulin. Okay. So more insulin is needed for glucose clearance when we're not active than when we are active. So you're lowering blood sugar, you're reducing your propensity to store fat, you're improving your metabolic flexibility with a 10-minute walk. Could be a walk around your kitchen, right? The key here is just don't sit. Just move, fold laundry, empty the dishwasher, 10 minutes. You just need to move with intention. So what does this look like in real life? It doesn't mean you're necessarily going to the track. I don't live in an area where there are sidewalks. I can't just go walk down the road safely where I live. There's just a lot of traffic. And again, no sidewalks, but it can just be out in my yard. If it's raining out, it can be just, I'm not going to sit down right after a meal. I'm just going to move for 10 minutes before I sit on the couch and watch a show. That for you might be walking around the block. It might be going to get the mail and taking a couple trips to and from your mailbox. It could be as simple as folding laundry, going up and down the stairs. Maybe that's when you do your chores. If you're somebody that just wants to sit and relax, and then a couple hours later, get up and do your stuff first and then sit and relax, because that 10 minutes of movement after a meal is very powerful. Again, as powerful at reducing glucose in the blood as the diabetes drug metformin. 10 minutes of movement. Maybe you're at work. That's okay. You don't want to stroll around the halls and have people wonder what you're doing? Do 10 body weight squats. Do 30 to 60 seconds of lunges or calf raises, or heck, even just marching in place. It sounds silly and it might look silly, but there's no getting around the fact that it is very, very effective. Simple, basic movement activates your muscles to help clear sugar from the blood. and support insulin sensitivity after a meal. And it's not a small thing. Yeah, we think 10-minute walk, no big deal, but the impact that it has on your blood sugar actually is a big deal. It also has a lot of other fringe benefits that are worth noting, like reducing bloating, improving digestion, potentially helping you sleep better, giving you more energy, a greater ability to focus, all from something that is as simple as a 10-minute walk. So you don't need to burn off your food. You don't need to go for a jog. You don't need to go to the gym. You don't have to even be outside. 10 minutes of intentional movement after a meal. Just challenge yourself to say, I'm not going to sit for 10 minutes. I'm standing and marching in place. I'm pacing around my kitchen. I'm bringing the laundry upstairs. 10 minutes. Even if you do this after just one meal, is there one meal you can do this after? I can always do this after breakfast, or I can always do this after lunch. Do it after a meal, 10 minutes of movement. Again, even if you're like, I don't have anywhere to walk, body weight squats for 30 to 60 seconds. It makes a really meaningful and measurable impact. I wanted to wrap it up on something that's super simple and super accessible, because maybe you felt like yesterday when we were talking about muscle mass, you have an injury and that feels like a limitation, or maybe you are a shift worker and so you can't get out in the sunlight in the morning. No matter what, there is always, always something you can do. And I want you to embrace what you can do. And maybe for you, that's 10 minutes of movement before you sit back down to your computer after a meal. I'm going to be doing a live Q&A to address any and all questions on this 5-part series. So I would love to hear from you. What's something I didn't talk about? What's something I wasn't clear about? What's something that you're not sure how to apply? Let me know. And I'm also going to put in the description the link to our upcoming webinar series on April 8th and 9th. I want to make sure you register for that. It's totally free. And also the way that you can get the free summary sheets from each of these 5-part series. I'll put those links in the show description, but let me know if you have questions, because I'm really looking forward to doing this Q&A and getting into anything that we didn't cover in these 5 videos. If you haven't listened to parts 1 through 4, they're all right here on YouTube. Check them out. Send me your questions. I'll talk to you soon.